When I was a young girl, I loved so much to be pregnant at 25. I also loved to have a job by the time I'm 25. I also loved to have a boyfriend by then. But things don't happen the way you want. By 25, by the time I was 25, I didn't have a job. By the time I was 25, I didn't have a boyfriend by then. And by the time I was 25, I didn't have any kids. So I was so reluctant, and I knew life was there for me. So I had to take everything easy and realize that not everything you plan the way you want comes easily unless God favors you on that. So back in 2016, I met my then husband. I was so happy. Yo, guys, my dream has finally come true. I've got a husband. Now I'm planning to have a baby, and I have a job that I wanted. So we never pushed so hard on having a baby because we know a baby is God's blessing. I was not comfortable with me discussing anything to do with pregnancy with my husband. So it took me time. So the first month went on well, the second month went on well. But when it came to the third and fourth month of the same year when I met my husband, I felt something was not right somewhere, and I felt that I need to talk to him and get to know, or as a couple, get to understand each other and do things that they are meant to be done. So I spoke to my husband about it, and we took an initiative to go to the gyna. So my husband has a gyna friend who we always went for checkup. So the first checkup was so good. Everything was easy. The gyna was happy about us. He wished us well and told us he would be looking forward for us getting pregnant and bringing babies in this world. And for me, that was my first gyna thing I've ever done in my life. So I wished myself the best. I was ready psychologically. I was so prepared, and even my husband was prepared. So we were so excited on having our first baby, and everything went well. So I had to change my diet, I had to change my lifestyle, I had to change so many things. The fact that if you need to be pregnant, you need to have a very good body, a very good, strong immune. And for me, I used to get sick so many times, and now this is the time now I felt that it's good that I watch what I eat, I do workout, I relax, and at least be very fit. When I say fit, not workout way, but fit in form of my body, that I can hold a baby, I can carry the pregnancy for 9 months. And that made me change my life a lot. I watched what I was eating, what I was drinking, where I was going, what I was thinking in my mind. I wanted to be that sober person, carrying this precious thing in my body. So months went on and things didn't turn the way I expected. So what happened? We went for a checkup. So the first time the doctor told us, or our gyna told us, that we should go for a checkup. So we had an HSG that showed that our tubes are okay and our ovaries, our eggs are okay. But one thing I didn't know is on that same time is when our doctor gave us a report saying that I got some fibroids. And I truly didn't understand much about it, but I knew, or I've seen so many women suffer with fibroids, and I thought fibroid was one of the most serious things that women face for them, or maybe not even getting pregnant. But I never knew there are other underlying issues that make someone not to be pregnant. So we spoke with my husband about it, and he told me he's going to support me fully, but we have to do something. We have to always go for checkups to know the size of the fibroids and how we're going to eliminate them. So we were cool about it. So it would happen sometimes, you all know about the effects of, or you all know how fibroids affect people. Sometimes I would go and sleep, and in the verge of the night I'll just have some sharp pains in me, and I'll feel something flowing out. I'll jump out of the bed, but by the time I get to the toilet, flow is everywhere. I'm having these sharp cramps. I'm having sharp menstrual. Even when my menstrual is coming out, I'm still feeling pain. I'm feeling confused. I feel sick. I feel everything. I felt as if the world was just tearing apart. But I never gave up, because now my mind started telling me that I have fibroids. These are the causes of fibroids, and I now I thought of being more careful on myself and taking more care when it comes to hygiene wise. And guys, all the time I had my periods, I felt as if the world is shutting down, because I was not comfortable. Once working in the office was not so cool for me. I felt that the pain is too much. I was always scared. What if I mess on myself? What if I just stand and go somewhere, or my boss sends me somewhere and my menses just come out and making the whole thing look like a big issue in front of men? We are all scared of men. So I was so scared, and I felt that as if I'm not wanted. So I kept complaining about it. So when it came to time, by that time now, truly I not hit my mind on 100% fibroids. So our doctor told our fibroids are too small, so we needed to overcome it by getting pregnant. Once we get pregnant, my fibroids will go away because they're too small by then. So we worked so hard on that. So I tried all the best I could when I'm not having my periods, when I'm ovulating, these things. So when once my periods kick in, I felt so bad, because all the effort I've put, trying eating well, trying to keep healthy, doing workouts, all those things, and now boom, the month is here, it's end month, our visitors have just come in, and I'm not pregnant. It also devastated me, made me feel very bad. So I would promise myself, let me work so hard, next month I'll be pregnant. So it kept on going like that, until I got to maybe 6 months down the line. I started feeling that something is wrong somewhere. I felt it was the high time now I talked to my husband about it. So I would call my husband, maybe go out for some coffee and talk about it. He was so supportive, guys. He gave me the support that I needed as a woman. He was always there for me, and he helped me. He never felt as if my periods to him was a bother, because he saw the pain that I was going through, and he also saw how he also saw that I was so willing to get pregnant. So he told me, you know what, babe, you have to calm down. Let it happen from nowhere. The day you'll get pregnant, you'll not even have worked hard for it. It will just come naturally. Just relax, be free, and everything will come on its time. God's time is always the best. And I stopped thinking so much about it. So life went on. And 2 weeks down the line, my period will come again. So I got bored now that I can't even travel anywhere. I can't even go to places. I can't even meet people. I can't eat certain foods like sugary stuff, because I would eat something sweet and it would trigger my periods to come. So I hated everything. Generally, I hated life. I just hated everything to do with marriage. And I thought this is the pain people go through. Maybe once you're married, no, these are lifestyle things that come in your body. But I never knew these things come to every woman who is active but not getting pregnant. So it went on like that until one shocking day, me and a colleague, we were going home. It was 5:30, we were leaving work and we were going home. So I told my colleague to give me some time, go to the washroom, change myself, prepare myself so that we go home, because I had my periods. So she told me, it's okay, fine, take your time and let's go. So I took my sweet time. I went to the washroom, did my thing there, and we went home. We took a matatu and we went home. My friend, let me tell you, if the car would hit a bump or a pothole, everything was crumbling down. I would feel my stomach get hot, and I felt something was pushing down too, like the floor was just coming out. I was so praying so hard that I won't miss myself, and I prayed so hard that I didn't even want to cough or even laugh, because I knew my floor was so heavy. So we got to the place where we were going. We were elated, and now we wanted to take the next matatu. And until when the driver said, "Madam, are you okay?" I told him, "Yeah, I'm okay." And that day I'd worn a black trouser. So the driver asked me, because we had sitting in front, so the driver asked me, "Madam, are you okay?" I told him, "Yeah, I'm okay." "Why? Is there any problem?" He told me, "No, but I think there is something happening to you." Once the guy told me that, definitely it rang in my mind that I'd messed up big time. I just checked on the seat, something on luck. By good luck, the seats in that matatu, they were like paperish, that you can wipe. So I looked at the seat and I saw I'd messed a little. So I told him, "Sorry, I'm going to clean it up." I took some wipe I had, I wiped it out and told the guy sorry. He told me, "It's okay, we understand these things, they do happen." The first one. So when we arrived and the matatu left, I told this lady, "You know what? I'm feeling so bad. I feel something is trying to push down. We need to go to the toilet. I need to get a washroom as up." So in the verge of checking around if there is any hotel or any place that has a public toilet, it took us time. By then, everything was flowing out. I would feel big chunks of meat flowing down me. And now, the trouser that I'd worn, despite it being black, the flow was already on my legs, on my shoes. I felt so disappointed. My colleague tensed up and she was like, "No, what are we going to do?" I told her, "No, the only thing we have now is to get the toilet, remove all whatever I have and change my pads." Guys, I tried all we could to look for the toilet, but we couldn't get. So a few meters away, we saw a petrol station and there was is it a chicken? No, it's not a chicken inn. It's kind of a chicken inn. So we asked the guys there if they can help us with the keys for the washroom. They told us, "Just go this way, you'll see a washroom." That place was another tension. The tiles were white. So the more I walked, the more my menses went on. Like, I would step and I would step my mens, like it would drip little by little. I felt so disgusted. But by good luck, it was in the evening, so most of the people had already left, so they were not using that pathway. So I went to the toilet. When I tried undressing myself to change, still the flow was so heavy. My friend, it was so heavy. The chunk of meat that came out was so heavy and it was so painful. I cried. No, my friend outside, my colleague was telling me, "Are you okay? Are you sure you're okay?" I told her, "You know what? Now you have to get for me some tissue. We need to wipe this thing out." My handkerchief had already soaked. It was so miserable. My clothes, everything was wet, I felt bad about it, but no, I had otherwise. I told her, "You know what? Take my phone and try call my husband. Maybe he'll come and rescue us." So we tried calling him. We called for almost 10 times, 20 times, trying to call. I felt bad. I started crying. I asked myself, why is he not even picking up my phone? He knows I'm in this problem. Why is he not even responding? No, she told me, "Don't worry, you just keep on cleaning up yourself and I'll keep on calling him until he picks up." So as she is trying to call, I'm trying the other side to clean myself. So we cleaned myself. I used a whole roll. Do you know that those tissues that they're bought for 100 shillings, like the double or the mega big tissue? Yeah. So I used that. I wiped and made sure my trousers are dry. So I could use the whole roll of tissue. I just wiped my pants. So I wiped my pants. I made sure my legs are clean. Everything is clean. I took some more of my pads and I fixed myself. I was ready to go, but now the place looked messy. So I told this lady, "We're not going to leave this place here. We have to clean it." So we hurriedly did it. We cleaned the place and we went to stand outside now at the stage. Once we were there, I was so worried, like another flow is coming, because I felt my tummy becoming more hot. And I told my colleague, "No, you know what, we have to rush home or things will just happen." We didn't wait for him to come or to pick up the call. So we saw the next matatu and we took the matatu home. So she gave me her sweater and her lasso. We put it on, I put it on my seat. I sat on them and we went home. So when we got to our final destination, she left, she went in her house. I told her, don't worry, I'll be fine from here, I'll just run home. Mark, it was getting late. It was at around 7. Yeah, it was around 7. So I just stayed there. I called him, and finally he picked up. I told him, you know what, I'm so in a mess, kindly come and pick me, I'm at this place. So my hubby came for me. I got home. The first thing, before even anything, I just went straight to shower. I showered. Everything was so messed up. I took a quick shower and a hot shower. Yo, do you know what happened? After taking a shower and dressed properly and cleaned everything, my mens finished. Just disappeared out of nowhere. Finished. I told my husband, I'm not going to work tomorrow. I need to ask my boss for permission. We have to go for a checkup. But this time, I don't want to go to the same gyna. I want to go to a different gyna. Let's try an option B of this. He said, okay, fine. Let's try it. So I called a few friends of mine and told me, Pauline, do you know there's a certain gyna I want you to try? Maybe it's going to give you the best option. I told them it's okay. So I went to the option B. I did a scan and everything. They saw everything. And that time, we are still with my husband. He was still there for me. So we went. I was done some scans, and I went the scans, and I was asked some questions, about myself, about my health, about everything. I gave him the response, and he told me, you know what? Now you guys, if you have fibroids, we have to do some HSG to see even if your tubes and your eggs are okay. We said, okay, fine, we're open for it. But deep down in myself, I didn't want that, because the last time it was so painful for me to handle. So when we went to the car, I asked my husband, babe, you promised me you're not going to take me to the same process. You know what he told me? You know what, babe, I love you so much. I would love you to have what you want. I would love you to have a baby that you always want. But if you don't undergo these processes, or you don't go under these medications, babe, you're not helping yourself. And I was like, okay, fine, let's do this. So we did some scans, and the results, we were told we wait for the result, like after 2 days they'll call us. Fast forward, 2 days are here. The gyna called us and told us, you know what, the only option now we have for you left is you have to undergo a surgery, and the surgery we're going to do is going to remove the fibroids. We're going to remove the fibroids, and you're going to check if your tubes, they're okay. And I was like, okay, anything, doctor, you say, anything you say, I'm in for it. So my husband also said, if she's okay with it, then I'm okay with it. I have no problem. So we agreed. So the gyna told us, no, for this month you're going to wait. When you're on the second day of your period next month, kindly come so that we know what you're going to do. And I'm like, okay, cool. I went home, so I knew I have fibroids, and I knew now, at the back of my mind, I knew that I'm undergoing some surgery to remove the fibroids and to open the tubes if they are blocked. So I just took my sweet time. Everything was okay. I carried myself well. I watched what I was eating, my diet and everything. And the day came. Now the next month, on my second day of my period, as the gyna said, I just went back to the hospital. So my husband picked me up at work. We went to the gyna, and we were told that on this day is the only available day. We have to do it ASAP. We have to do this surgery ASAP. It's going to truly, truly help you, and it's going to avoid all these pains that you're feeling, this flow and everything. And I was like, okay, fine. I was ready for the surgery, but in myself, I was so scared. I hate knives. I hate blood. So I was so scared, but I just accepted. So we were given some document. We filled in the mode of payment. Are we going to use the insurance cover? Are we going to pay? Do we have NHF? All that stuff. So we paid the mode of payment and everything. So the documents that were needed for payment, we prepared them on time. So we had a week to prepare on the documents, and payments and everything. So we prepared, and the gainer told us, let me see you on the day before your surgery. And I said, it's cool. So on 24th of 2016, we went back to the doctor, and this time around we were going there to pick a certain pill. There's a pill that we were to be given that I would swallow to clear clear the pathways, the food in my body and everything. So I was given that pill to clear everything that is in my system, and I was told not to eat. And that same day we signed it. Surgeries are surgeries. You may come out alive or dead, So we signed it. We never told anyone. On my family side, we never told anyone. And even on his side, we never told. So it was just a secret between me and him. We're going to do this, and we're not going to share it with anyone. This is our life. We need to sort it as it is. So we went, signed the documents. He accepted I should undergo the surgery in case of anything, any all those details. We did it. So the gainer told us, see you tomorrow. And I'm like, okay, I'm cool. So the next day, on 25th of 2016, you guys, as you're celebrating Christmas, I was on the theater undergoing a surgery. So I was scheduled to have my surgery at around 8 in the morning. But when we got there, it happened that the gainer was so, if you're told you're having a surgery at 8 and you go and find that the gainer has not finished with the rest, you have to wait. So we waited, but the nurse came, prepared me, tried speaking to me, when she was going through my documents, she knew what I'm undergoing, she knew what I was going for the surgery, the reason why I'm going for the surgery. She knew everything, and I was okay with it. I never even tensed or even bothered to ask, because I also knew what I was going there to do. So she prepared, she gave me clothes to change, she told me what to do. And for that time, I was on my last days of my floor, and I felt so disgusting that she was telling me, she told me, you don't have to put on your panty, but just put your pad, it will hold. And I was like, okay, fine, I will do that. So we stayed there with my hubby, waiting in my bed. I was given a bed to relax. I was given a bed. I was told that's where you're going to sleep, and that's your space for now. So we stayed there with my husband. I was so tensed. He tried talking to me sweet things. We were talking, sharing. He's telling me, what, babe, after this you're going to be pregnant. So he was trying to sweet talk me. But my tension was so high, guys. I was so tensed. So we stayed there. My gainer took more time, and the nurse came and told us, you have to give our gainer, it's around 12 now, you're going to give our gainer 1 hour. When he is done, he will come to call you. You will be okay. I said, okay, fine. So the more he delayed, the more I was becoming even more happy, because I didn't want this thing to happen. I was so scared. So we stayed, and it was not time. We saw 6 men come, and they were all in white aprons, mask and everything, and they told us, Pauline, now this is your time, you're going to undergo the surgery, you'll be well, you'll be happy at the end of it all. No more pains for you, no more pains, no more heavy bleedings, no nothing. And I was like, thank you, God. So I told them, give me a few minutes, I have to go to the washroom and release myself. And they said, okay. So as I went to the washroom, they went to prepare they went to the theater to prepare. So I just locked the door. I didn't even go to do anything. I just sat on the toilet and started thinking of the worst. What will happen to me? What if I don't wake up? What if I die? What if I feel pain? I'm scared of this pain. I'm scared of what will, things started coming in my mind. And now I just had a bang on the door. Like my husband was calling me, babe, open the door, babe. I'm like, I'm not even talking. I just went mute silently, and I didn't want anything to move so that they don't know that I'm in the toilet. So I had the doctor ask, where is she? And my husband said, she said she's going to the toilet, maybe let's check on her again. Do you know, it took almost 10 minutes for them waiting outside the toilet for me to come out. When they saw I'm not coming out, they had to open. They opened the door from outside. They had a key, so the nurse came with an extra key, opened the door and found me. I'm just seated there. They were all laughing because it was crazy. I was so tensed, you know. But I was put in the middle of the doctors now. They escorted me, my husband, and now in that time, my husband decided to call my, what do we call? We call them wifi. Yeah, called one of our aunts. So he called one of the aunts and told her, you know, Pauline is undergoing surgery and this is happening and we're in this hospital. So the auntie got scared and she had to come where we were. So she came. She saw me and she told me, wish you the best. They prayed for me and I went to the theater. But when I got to the theater, I saw the place was so beautiful. It was so welcoming. So I got comfortable. So I was given the anesthesia and I was told to say the music that I would love to listen. But when I'm struggling to give the music, I just went off. They did their thing. And guys, I was told my surgery is just a 2 to 3 hour thing and I'm done. Do you know, I got to the theater table at 2:15. Yes, 2:15. I left theater at 1 a.m. Yes, 1 a.m. Wow. So Pauline is here. She has been done. She has been operated. The surgery has gone well. I've been taken to the recovery room. And an hour later, I just find myself, I hear some sound from far. I just could hear some sound from far. And as I could hear the sound from far, I tried not to regain my conscience back. And I started calling my husband, like, babe. The nurse who was taking care of me